Something doesn't feel quite right, does it? The timing is off. The air feels thicker. And beneath your thoughts, there's a quiet pulse whispering, something is coming. You can't see it in the news. You won't hear about it from the people around you. But if you've been paying attention, really paying attention, you've noticed the shift. Sudden waves of exhaustion, unexplainable emotions rising out of nowhere, dreams that don't feel like dreams anymore, and a strange electric stillness that follows you through the day. This is not coincidence. It's not stress. It's not in your head. It's the signal of a portal beginning to open, one that doesn't ask for permission, one that only those who are ready will respond to. This is the moment before the mirror turns, before time begins to bend, before your old identity starts to dissolve under the weight of a truth you can no longer ignore. And here's the truth. If you're hearing this, you're already inside it. You've crossed an invisible threshold. And what happens in the next few days, how you respond, what you release, what you finally stop pretending about, will echo into everything that comes next. In this video, we're going to decode what this energy actually is, why you're feeling it so intensely, and the 5 critical inner shifts you must make now to stabilize before it's too late. So don't scroll. Don't click away. Not now, because once this window closes, it won't reopen in the same form again. You are currently moving through an energetic corridor that is invisible to the naked eye, but undeniable to the intuitive body. It doesn't come with sirens. It doesn't come with clear markers, but it does come with pressure, a kind of spiritual gravity that pulls you inward, even when your outer world seems unchanged. And if you've felt like time has been distorted lately, like the days pass, but you're not really in them, it's because the veil is thinning. The linear timeline you've been walking is starting to curve, overlap, and echo. Energetically, this is known as a phase lock moment, where the universe begins syncing your internal frequency with a higher external grid. And if you're not grounded during this transition, you'll start to feel the tension, mental fog, emotional overreaction, sudden relationship fractures, old wounds flaring up, physical symptoms with no medical explanation. This isn't random. It's the purging effect of an activation wave that is already running through the collective. You may think you're alone in this, but behind the scenes, thousands, millions are feeling the same pressure, the same unraveling. What's really happening? You are being vibrationally detached from a frequency that you've outgrown. The version of you that was built in survival is being phased out. The loops you've been stuck in, energetic, emotional, even karmic, are now collapsing in real time. And this collapse, although subtle, is deeply personal. You may feel like avoiding everything right now. That's normal. You may want to sleep more, speak less, withdraw, observe. That's not weakness. That's the recalibration of your nervous system catching up to a soul level upgrade. The truth is, your higher self is already moving into position. But you, the conscious you, must still decide whether you will resist the process or participate in it fully. This energy is not neutral. It is directional. It's moving you toward a timeline that is cleaner, clearer, more aligned, but only if you are willing to leave behind what you secretly already know is expired. In the next part, we'll explore the 5 inner shifts you must make now, not in theory, but in action, if you want to stabilize in the timeline that is calling you forward. This isn't the kind of change you can see with your eyes. It's the kind that happens in your field first. Quiet, subtle, but irreversible. And right now, 5 key inner shifts are already underway within you. You can either align with them consciously, or you can resist them and feel like you're falling apart. These 5 steps aren't about becoming someone else. They're about remembering who you were before you learned to hide. Let's go deeper. Step 1. Recognize the false self is dying. There's a part of you that was never really you. It was the version built to cope, to survive, to fit in. It learned what to say, how to act, and who to become in order to be accepted. And for a while, it worked. But now in this current frequency, it's suffocating. You might feel it as anxiety without reason, tension in your body, a strange detachment from your own life. That's not failure. That's feedback. The identity you constructed no longer matches your soul's vibration. And the longer you cling to it, the more friction you'll feel. This shift is asking you to admit, this version of me no longer fits. That's the beginning of liberation. Step 2. Return to internal authority. You've been conditioned to outsource your knowing, to check in with experts, to follow systems, to ask for permission over and over. But that's not how this timeline works. This energy is sovereign. It demands you reclaim authority over your own field. That means listening to your body's signals, noticing what contracts you and what expands you, and honoring that intelligence above all else. This doesn't mean becoming impulsive. It means becoming attuned, because only you can hear what your path sounds like. And in this energetic window, if you don't trust your inner voice, you'll be pulled by every external frequency trying to hijack your truth. Step 3. Cut the leaks. This shift cannot stabilize in a fragmented field. Look at your life. Where is your energy leaking? Is it the person you keep tolerating out of guilt? Project you said yes to, but no longer resonates? The version of yourself you keep performing to keep others comfortable? Leaks don't just drain you, they distort your magnetic field, and that distortion keeps you from locking into the higher timeline that's already waiting. This step is surgical. You must remove what no longer holds resonance. Not with hate, not with resentment, but with clarity. Say, I choose to hold my energy fully, then act accordingly. Step 4. Anchor the new identity. You've already glimpsed your next level, the version of you who speaks with ease, who creates without overthinking, who rests without guilt, who leads, listens, and lives in deep truth. But glimpsing it is not enough. You must begin to anchor that identity through action. Ask yourself, what does that version of me say no to? What does that version of me no longer chase? What time does that version of me wake up, speak up, and shut down the noise? Start small, one shift at a time. This is how new timelines become real, not through cosmic downloads, but through embodied choices. Step 5. Initiate the closing ceremony. Every upgrade requires a ritual release. You can't ascend while dragging the ghosts of who you used to be. So take this seriously. Write a letter to the parts of you you're ready to release. The roles, the masks, the survival strategies. Burn it, bury it, release it into water. Let your body witness the closing. Say it aloud. I thank you for helping me survive, but I am no longer here to survive. I am here to live aligned. And mean it. Because every shift you honor becomes part of your field, and every shift you ignore returns again later, louder. These 5 steps are not linear. You may move through them again and again in deeper spirals. But what matters is that you move, because the energy right now is precise. It's not forgiving to indecision. It's not patient with delay. It's clear. You either stabilize now or loop again. You've seen the pattern, you've felt the pull. Now it's time to ground the frequency. Because transformation that isn't embodied fades. And what you integrate into your nervous system today becomes the foundation of your timeline tomorrow. This isn't about doing more, it's about doing with intention. Every movement, every breath, every decision from here on either supports the new you or feeds the old. Here are 5 practical integrations you must begin now. 1. Repattern your mornings. How you start the day sets the tone for your entire energetic field. If you're waking up and immediately flooding your nervous system with notifications, emails, and external voices, you're training your frequency to react instead of lead. Start with 10 minutes of conscious silence. No scrolling, no talking, no input. Just sit. Breathe. Ask, what energy am I choosing today? Let that question guide your next steps, because if you don't choose your energy, the world will choose it for you. Anchor this new pattern by placing a journal beside your bed. Write one word each morning that defines your intention, not a to-do list. A frequency. 2. Create a frequency filter. You are not just what you eat, you are what you allow into your field. Start filtering everything by frequency. The music you listen to, the people you allow access to your thoughts, the rooms you walk into, the content you consume. Ask yourself constantly, does this match the timeline I'm choosing? If not, pause, reset, walk away if you must. This isn't about judgment, it's about resonance. And resonance is non-negotiable when you're stabilizing in a new layer of identity. Number 3, ground the body so the soul can stay. High frequencies without grounding equals burnout, anxiety, and detachment. Your soul won't stay in a system that doesn't feel safe. So take care of your vessel. Walk barefoot on earth for 10 minutes a day. Eat grounding foods, root vegetables, warm broths, mineral-rich water. Strengthen the legs with slow movement, yoga, breath led squats, or intuitive stretching. Limit caffeine and sugar during integration windows. They scatter your field and amplify dysregulation. You are anchoring light into form. Honor the form. 4. Build an energetic altar in daily life. You don't need a temple to meet the divine, but you do need sacred space. Choose one small area of your home, a corner, a windowsill, a shelf. Place objects that remind you of the energy you're calling in. A stone, a phrase, a candle, a single image. Each time you pass it, pause, breathe, reconnect to your why. This becomes your frequency checkpoint, a physical reminder of your invisible becoming. 5. Stop explaining. Start becoming. One of the biggest leaks during spiritual transitions is trying to get others to understand. Stop. This energy does not require justification. It requires embodiment. Let your actions speak. Let your aura shift the room. Let your silence be louder than words. The more you explain, the more you fragment. But the more you embody, the more magnetic you become. You don't need agreement. You need alignment. And that alignment starts in your spine, in your breath, in your daily devotion to your future self. Bonus, anchor with the elements. If you feel unsteady, return to nature. Nature never resists transformation, it embodies it. Light a candle. Speak your intentions into the flame. Submerge your hands in water. Let it take what you're ready to release. Sit under the sky. Let the vastness mirror your expansion. Touch the earth. Let its stillness remind you. Change doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it's slow, and that's still sacred. These practical steps aren't optional, they're vital, because this energy will not carry those who refuse to ground. Anchor now, or get swept back into the loops you already said you were done with. So you've taken the steps, you've shifted your rituals, redirected your energy, changed your responses. But now, it feels quiet. You begin to wonder, did it work? Was it enough? Why hasn't anything happened yet? This is where doubt creeps in. This is where most people turn back. But this, right here, is where you must do the most powerful thing of all: trust. This is the stretch between seeds and sprouting. Think of what you've done in the past few days. You've torn down old beliefs. You've said no to things that once defined you. You've created new anchors for your identity. But like any seed placed in the soil, the growth is invisible at first. You may not see the roots forming. You may not feel the shift externally, but it's happening. This is the sacred pause between cause and effect. The ego hates this space. It wants immediate proof. It wants signs, symbols, answers. But the soul knows better. The soul whispers, rest. It's unfolding. When nothing is happening, everything is being rearranged. In spiritual timing, silence is not stagnation. It's a space of reorganization. Timelines are being rewritten. People are shifting in and out of alignment with you. Opportunities are preparing themselves. But it takes time for the physical world to catch up to your energetic decision. So don't fill the silence with fear. Fill it with faithful waiting. There's a reason this moment feels hollow, because you're not meant to stuff it with action. You're meant to hold it, to become the new frequency without rushing its result. Trust isn't passive. It's an active state of alignment. Trust isn't sitting around hoping. It's continuing to act as if the shift has already occurred. Wake up and move like someone who is aligned. Speak like someone who is no longer begging for clarity. Rest like someone who knows they're being guided. Every aligned action is a vote for the timeline you chose. And right now, the universe is watching how you hold your power, especially when it looks like nothing is changing. Because what you do in the silence sets the tone for what shows up in the noise. The wisdom of divine timing. What you want may be ready, but are you ready to receive it without falling back into your old self? Divine timing isn't just about when, it's about who you are when the moment arrives. And sometimes the delay isn't punishment, it's preparation. The universe will not rush to deliver something that would collapse under an unready identity. So when you feel like giving up, ask, am I being delayed or protected? Is this silence or sacred recalibration? How to hold the energy. Return to presence. One breath, one task, one moment. Say thank you, even when you don't know what for. Speak your future into the now, not with hope, but with conviction. I don't know how, but it's aligning. Everything is moving in my favor. I trust what I can't yet see. And if you need a reminder, this is it. You are not being ignored. You are being refined, not punished, prepared. You've made it to the end of this message, but the real shift is only just beginning. What you're experiencing right now is not confusion, it's emergence. You're not unraveling, you're unfolding. Everything you've released, chosen, integrated, and trusted in these past days is building momentum in ways you can't yet see. But you will, in quiet moments when something small feels effortless, in a conversation that suddenly feels lighter, in the way your own reflection starts to feel familiar again. That's how change truly arrives, not always in lightning strikes, but in the subtle confirmation that you are no longer who you were. And you don't need to be, because the you that's rising now is wiser, clearer, calmer, and more aligned than ever before. You're not the only one feeling this. If this message felt personal, it's because it is. But don't mistake personal for solitary. There are thousands of others tuning in right now, feeling the same pulse, the same quiet push to let go, the same strange hope that maybe, just maybe, this time the change is real. And that's what this space is for. Not just to hear, but to connect, to gather, to grow together. So here's your invitation. Take a moment and share below. What resonated most with you in this message? What are you leaving behind? What are you walking toward? Because your words may be the medicine someone else needs. And when you speak your truth out loud, even in the comments, you make it real. Keep walking. The path doesn't end here. This energy will keep unfolding in the days ahead, gently testing your consistency, quietly rewarding your clarity. So stay connected, not just to this channel, but to your own process. Return to the rituals, recommit to the silence, revisit your why whenever the noise creeps in. And remember, no one is going to tell you when you've arrived. You'll simply wake up one day and realize you didn't bend, you didn't go back, you stood in your truth, and that changed everything. Final message. You don't need to rush. You don't need to fix anything. You only need to keep choosing who you came here to be. Let the old fall. Let the new root slowly. Let your soul settle into its natural frequency. And in the meantime, trust the unfolding, embrace the pause, and know you've already shifted more than you realize. If you found resonance here, consider subscribing, like, share, comment, not just for the algorithm, but to anchor your voice into the collective. There is more to come. New portals, new waves, new levels of clarity, and together we'll walk through each of them, one breath, one step, one aligned moment at a time. Your shift is real, your journey matters, and you're not walking it alone.